Sound check, sound check.
Yeah, there you go.
Check, check,
Go
check,
ahead,
sound check,
you're
sound
live
check.
right now.
Friday Night Flies, round 2. We're just checking to see if we got some volume this time. Maybe, possibly. Anyways, we're in Spud Valley Sporting Goods, 1380 Birch Street, downtown Pemberton. Stop by for all your fly tying goods, hunting goods, camping goods. If they don't got it, you don't need it.
That's right.
Any volume yet? We're getting there.
I'm digging.
He's digging through his apps. We're brought to you by Pemberton Fish Finder, where we talk trout. Book your tour today. It's ice fishing season. I was just out there this morning. It was
Yeah, we're good.
volume's good. All right, I can stop rambling. So I'm Boulder. It's Friday Night Flies. We're coming to you Saturday afternoon. We had a power outage last night as we were about to try and do this, so we're gonna whip this off for you guys so you got something to do for the week. And what I'm doing is the Boulder's Squamish Poacher. There's a lot of Squamish poachers out there.
Take it down there?
Yeah, that'd be great. So Scotty Holmes came to us last week with a shrimp pattern for steelhead. It is that season. This particular pattern I tied for pink salmon, but it's also going to work for the steelheads. You can scale it up in size as well. But this was spot on the money this summer for the pinks. So load up for not next year, but the year after. Anyways, we'll get to it. I already kind of started because our last video I'd gotten to the lead stage before it kicked out on us, or the volume wasn't working. So I got a size 4 salmon hook here. What I'm using is lead wrap, and like I said before, what you didn't hear was that it comes in a large sheet, and what I've done is I go through with an X-Acto and a ruler and just cut off strips so they're convenient, and you end up with one of these. So what I've already done here is put some thread wraps on the hook eye to close that off, and then I've done 1 wrap of lead, and I was just about to do the 2nd wrap of lead, so that's where we'll get her. And I'm doing it at the head of the fly so that it swims properly. So I'll just get this on there. That's all we need. Just a nice little bit. I've also tied these unweighted, depending on where in the water column you want to be hitting. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure this is on there nice and tight. Squish it down with my nail a little bit, and then we're going to get our thread going on again.
Because they have drivers in them. The drivers are inexpensive, whether it's the LED.
So throughout the video you are going to hear a lot of beeps and chimes and people talking. We are in Spud Valley Sporting Goods Saturday afternoon. It's quite busy. You know, it's Christmas time. Everybody's getting their stocking stuffers and their wish lists for their husbands and wives.
Question and answers open 2 ways.
Ah, question and answers this afternoon. Love it. All right, so we got that lead on there, pretty secure. And now I'm going to work my thread to the back. And I'm going to bring this around the hook bend. So it's about halfway around that bend. And we are going to start putting this fancy fly together. So what I'm starting off with is a pink Glow Bright chenille here. A lot of nice sparkle in there. Take off a little bit of end, strip that center thread down so that you can attach it without building up too much bulk. And now I'm going to bring my thread back up to just about the hook point. And with this Glow Bright stuff, I like using my hackle pliers. When you use your hands, it really starts pulling the fibers down the thread, and you don't get that nice fullness that you're trying to get. Alright, so we got a couple wraps on there. We're back to where our thread is. We're at the hook point. I'm going to trap it. I can get rid of the rest of this dangling stuff.
Inspiration, you know, the usual.
1, 2, 3 wraps. Fold it back and give her 1 more wrap. Now, we're not going to cut this off yet. We're still going to use it. So I'm just putting it back and hanging it off my vise attachment here. Keeps it out of the way. Now we're going to start building the body. So what this creates is a bit of a mouth on it right here. Nice little feature to this fly. So we're going to start by putting in a little bit of this ribbing here. So I got some medium gold wire.
I should be able to change the mic without messing things up.
We're going to try.
It's a little bit more focused.
Right to me?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to get this wire tied in. Just trap it, give it some good turns, and put that in your material clip. Keep it for later. I'm just going to get my material clip moved around here so it actually grabs stuff. There we go. Now we're going to start building the mouth and the eyes and everything else. One other thing that we need to put in there for the body here before we get too far is one feather of cock cape. So I'm going to pull one off and I'm going to attach it by its tip. So just pull all these fibers out of the way. Now I'm going to attach this on the side. So we got a couple wraps in there, nice and secure. And again, we're just going to plop it into my material clip. Get rid of that little tag end. It's gone. All right. Let's see here. We're going to do a couple of rubber legs. So I'm going to grab one of these small rubber legs here. Maybe we'll do two of them. We'll do two. All right, so I got two small rubber legs here. These are barred. I'm going to trap it right in the middle of them. Two wraps, maybe three. Loop that over and trap it. So now we got these legs on here. So you got some coming out each end. And we'll adjust the length of them. Get them. So what I like doing, don't pull on them too much. Just rest them over there. I want them to be just longer than that hook shank. So I'm going to nip them off. And they should kind of hang two on each side of the fly. So that's those guys. Next we're going to put some mono eyes. So right here I got 20-pound mono. I'm going to just grab a lighter real quick. Maybe throw me a lighter from there, Brad. Thanks. Woo. That might be a little intense.
You want a regular lighter?
We'll see.
Yeah, I got a regular lighter here too.
Oh, she's working. It's nice and steady. Kind of like the butane. I might have to get one of these now.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? It darkens them up.
All right. So work your way around. Try and keep that ball on top of the eye.
What kind of model are you going with that?
This happens to be 20-pound because it's not a very big fly, so I don't need a huge eye. Normally I'll do these up in a day, and I'll have them in a little pack for myself with a little thing of water to dip them in, but lack of a thing of water. Just cool it off with your tongue. Take a Sharpie, touch up the color. So if you use a red Sharpie with the burnt end, gives it a nice color as well. So you just kind of work it around. Get a little black. Beautiful. So then you got one eye. Just cut that off. Ooh, where did it go? There it is. And we'll do a second eye. The trick with making these mono eyes is not to actually catch the eye on fire, which seems to be a lot easier to control with this nice butane torch versus your regular lighter, because you can get it right near that insane heat. Oh, I like that. Whew, beauty. Stop the cooking process and then just touch it up with this black Sharpie. Puts a nice little gloss on it. Now it does wear off after a while, after you fish the pattern a bunch for a day. But the nice thing is you take it home, put a little dab of color on it, and she's ready to go again. Alright, so we got 2 of those. When you're cutting it off, it's wise to hold the actual eyepiece so it doesn't go flying like my last cut did. Alright, so now we're going to get these things put into our fly. There is a natural curvature to the mono. I like to have it so that the curve is going upwards. And we want these eyes to be sticking out a fair way. It's about the length of our hook shaft that we got there. I'm going to grab both of them and tie them in at the same time here. So I'm going to get them lined up with my fingers so that both the curves are pointing up. Put it right on top of your hook shank. Now if you can, they should spread out a little bit so you can trap one on each side of the hook. Give a couple loose wraps in there until you can get it positioned. I'm just going to work them to each side of this fly. Alright, let's get these rubber legs up and out of the way. We're going to work our way up to where we had our chenille. And now I'm just going to give, maybe not, trap my rubber leg. There we go. So there you go. You can see that they're splayed. If they're not splayed, you can go in there with a couple figure-8 wraps if you have to. So now that those are in there nice and tight, I'm going to get rid of the tail ends of them. There we go, looking good. So from here, this is where I'm going to make sure everything's tightened down. I'm going to fill in this little space between the lead wrap that I put in and those eyes. I'm just going to bulk that middle section up a little bit and then work my way backwards. There we go. Now I'm ready to put in my, oh, I'm skipping a whole bunch of steps here. I got excited with the rubber legs that I added. I need to build the rest of the mouth. Okay, so stay up at the front. I'm going to grab one piece of Crystal Flash, fold it over, cut it. So we're going to end up with 4 pieces, and we want these to be just a little bit longer than your eyes. So once I get this tied in, I'll show you. A couple wraps, fold over the other 2 trailing pieces. So there we go, just longer than the eyeballs. It's all right if they're varied lengths, but you want to keep them right on top of that fly. Next is a little bit of this UV bucktail, very sparsely. Grab yourself a little pinch, just like that. And we're going to match that up with that silver. We're going to wrap that in. I'm going to help shape the body with it. There we go. Rid of those tags. Okay, pretty happy with that so far. All right, so now we're going to go back to our Glow Bright. We're going to wrap the inside body. Myself a little more length here to work with. Okay, so trap that near the back. Always remember to leave yourself some room for tying off everything in the back here. Get rid of that tail end. Next we're going to grab is this red feather. When you're bringing it back to start, make sure you get everything else up and out of the way from it. So right now it's grabbing onto some of that crystal flash. I'm just going to use my scissors and pull it out to the front. There we go. And I'm going to just counter wrap with this.
How'd it go?
Great. It was lovely. Right to
Yeah, you just put it right there on the floor, just out of the way.
Alright.
Let it fall down if you like. It's all good.
So I've worked that right to the back. Couple wraps to trap it.
Everything hold together.
And get that off.
Maybe can put some poles in.
So what I'm going to do is just push these fibers back a little bit. I'm going to just make sure all that's nice and secure. I still have the wire to go, but that'll come after we get the back onto this fly, which we're going to create with some fluorescent red laser wrap. Okay, so I got myself some laser wrap here. I'm just going to cut myself a strip off. So I want to make sure that it is wide enough to fit over the body so that it overhangs a little bit.
So in the back, there's a Petro-Canada gas station. Well, just as you're approaching it from this direction, usually on your left, there's a couple buildings there.
Alright, so I got myself a little bit off. Now I'm going to shape it to form my tail and everything else. So I want to make sure the point of it's going to align with the eyes. So the eyes are just sticking at the edge of it. So if you can see here, that's my length. So I can go to the back, and once I tie it off, I can see that a little bit's going to be hanging over the eye of the hook, so it's a good length. And we'll show you the shape we're going to create here. Normally I draw it on there with a pen first. Just helps me. See if I can do this here. There's no point. So if you can see, basically we're kind of cutting it out as a fish shape, really. And that'll form the back of this. Couple quick cuts with the scissors.
You have shooting glasses. They're 14.
And the pin just wipes off real nice. Let me make sure I Keep those tail rounded. Let's get rid of some of the sharp points you left. So that's what we're looking for. And now to attach this on here, what we're going to do, stroke that cock cape down into the sides and back.
So what do they do?
I'm going to put this on, and right where you've created the tail, I'm going to trap it.
Yeah. How easy are they to change the lines?
Couple good turns on there. Make sure it's sitting in the middle. And now you're going to use your wire to secure it to the top of your shrimp. So I'm really going to make sure that I pull some of those fiber down and bend that shell around the fly.
Maybe I wear that? Yeah. Yeah. they would.
And then we can go back
The rubber.
and pull
Do they? Do many guys
out
wear
any
them?
of those trap cock capes
Oh,
after
this is
we've
weird because
got
they're
this secured on the back. There you go.
Yeah.
So work that to the back, get rid of that wire tag. And then I'm going to secure it with a couple good wraps of this thread. And then what I like to do is tie it off underneath. So if you just push that tail up.
No more tags in there?
Goes together quite nicely, eh, Scotty?
Little fiddling around, but it's definitely worth it. And trim that off.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good Christmas.
See ya.
I'm just going to round off this tip a little bit here. Without trying to undo everything I just did, whichever. So then you can go underneath, just take your pick and pull those legs out that you've trapped. So these legs have a lot of movement in the water, really replicates the little swimming shrimp that these fish are used to eating. Awesome. So I'm just going to maybe just put it up on a little bit of an angle here. Now that's Boulder's Squamish Poacher right there.
That's dead sexy, brother. Dead sexy.
So I hope it was worth the wait. It is Saturday afternoon, but those rubber legs give it some good wiggle action. They are heavier than the rest of the wing material that's under there, so they'll hang down and get trapped underneath. And cock cape has a lot of nice movement as well.
Yeah, you can make the eyes bigger too if you wanted to, like mess around with different.
Yeah, you can make different features. You can make pop on this one.
Yeah,
What I really like is the is that you leave that underbody before you start tying in all your body, so it really looks like the mouth hanging down on the shrimp.
It looks pretty cool, man. Anyhow, you want to go up top?
Yeah, let's go up and we'll sign out and we'll leave you for the week. So thanks for watching us this Saturday afternoon. It's Friday Night Flies. We'll be back again next week right here at Pemberton Valley Sporting Goods in Pemberton. So come and check us out. The guys love showing people, not really, but they will. They love showing people where to go fishing. And especially right now with ice fishing season, make sure you come in and stop and ask the boys what lakes are safe to go on and what ones aren't. Because some of them are good to go and some of them look like they're good to go, but there's only about 2 inches of ice on them. So come in and get orientated before you head out there. Anyways, it's Boulder. It's Friday Night Flies. Thanks for watching.